Today is Friday, February 21st, and I just want to welcome all of you who are joining me for the first time. I'm Heather. I'm the knitting pastor, so thank you so much for coming and checking me out. And if you're coming back again, thank you for coming back. So my name's Heather, as I just said, and I am a United Methodist pastor serving 2 small member congregations in rural mid-Michigan. And I am coming to you from my home, which is a parsonage, and that's a home owned by one of the churches, where I live with my 2 kids, Abby, who is 14, and Philip, who is 9, and our Rhodesian Ridgeback, Flynn. So welcome. What this is, if you are checking me out for the first time and you have no idea, is this is not a traditional Vlogcast style podcast. This is not a traditional podcast. What I do is I do shorter clips throughout the week, and then I compile them all into one video, so it's more like a vlog. So I call it a vlogcast because it's not a true podcast. That works out a lot better for me because I do have a very busy schedule, so that works best for me. I don't do official show notes, but in the down bar below here on YouTube, there will be links to things that I have talked about. I'm going to try to remember to put in links to knitwear that I'm wearing. Someone asked me about that the last time, and I completely forget about doing that. So if you ever have those questions, please ask. So I'm going to try to remember to do that and talk about knitwear that I might be wearing, at least at the beginning and the end. At the beginning and the end, I do sit down and record a longer video where I kind of go over what I've been knitting in the past, like before and throughout the week. And then it's kind of a way to log what my progress has been. So today, what I am wearing is the So Faded pullover by Andrea Mowry. And you can see it on the arm best, how the fade goes, but it does that all the way down. The yarn is from Fawn and the Fox, and Lara is not dyeing a whole lot right now, I don't believe. But yeah, that's what this fade is from. And you can find out more information about that on my Ravelry page, and that will be linked below as well. So to kind of hop into just kind of the past week was a very full week. There was quite a bit going on. Not like super exciting stuff going on, but there was like stuff going on throughout the whole week. So that's always an adventure when there's a lot of stuff. Abby had a band concert last night to get ready for their festival, which is a competition basically where the bands play and then they get judged. So this was kind of a pre-festival concert, and they had a clinician come in and give them some tips. So we did that last night. That's been about the most exciting thing. It's been class and work and kids and all of the running around that goes along with those things. I am in school part-time getting my Master's of Divinity degree for ordination in the United Methodist Church, so I do have coursework that I have to do. Although I will say this semester so far is not horrible. Like, I'm actually able to get everything done without staying up to midnight, which is good because I wake up very early. So I'm not complaining a whole lot about things this semester. As far as what I've been knitting on, let's get to that because that's the most fun part. If you've been watching, these are not new projects. I haven't cast anything new on yet. However, that might be changing. So first of all, I'm going to show you my vanilla socks because those are probably the least interesting of them all. This is the second sock in my vanilla socks, and I am coming along quite nicely. I think I have like 2 more stripes before I do the toe. So these are really close to being done because I do have one done already that I showed you last time. So these are the vanilla socks that I'm working on. This colorway it's Knit Picks Felici, which, by the way, if you really like Knit Picks Felici, I noticed that it is on sale right now, like 30% off, so it's like $4.50 a ball or something like that. So if you are into that, all of their colors are for sale right now. And I'm not endorsed by Knit Picks by any stretch of the imagination. I just thought I would share what I knew. So this is the, I lost my progress keeper. I have to find him. So yeah, so this colorway is called Captain Nemo, and then I'm using Knit Picks Stroll colorway for the contrasting color, which is called Wonderland Heather, and it's just like a really nice wintry kind of blue. Very frosty looking. So yeah, so that's my vanilla socks. I suspect those will be finished within the next couple of days. And then I'll cast on another pair of vanilla socks. I think I have a couple more balls of Felici in my stash, because a couple years ago when it was on sale, I bought like one of every colorway. Because why not? It was cheap. It was even cheaper than it is right now. It was like $3 a ball or something. So I thought, hey, let's go for it. So I did that. But my other project that I have been working on, pretty much, apart from those, pretty much exclusively, is my Birds of a Feather shawl by Andrea Mowry. And let's see how well I can show this, because it is on the needles, which makes it a little bit bunchy, but I think if I show it this way, it's the best. So here it is, and it is almost done. It is, let's see, I have this garter section here to finish, and then one more mohair, and then it's the border. So it's getting very close to being done. I have really enjoyed this knit quite a bit. It's been pretty cathartic knitting, very relaxing, and yeah, interesting. It's a lot of garter, but just kind of when you start getting bored, it's time to switch, which makes it really nice to work on. So I have really very much enjoyed this. I'm going to talk about the yarn now, and I probably will talk about it again at the end, because by the time I get to the end of the week, I have forgotten that I have already told you, so you get to hear it twice, which is probably okay for most people. So the garter section is here, and this colorway is called Lembus, and it's from Molly of a Homespun House. It was part of her Lord of the Rings Yarn and Charm Club, and my little progress keeper is a little Lembus, which is elven bread. So that's that colorway, and I knew I only had one skein of this, and it calls for 150 grams of the fingering weight, and so I didn't want to run out. So for the lace portion, which I did wrong, but that's okay, because I didn't purl when I should have purled. I knitted. Oh well. So this colorway is from Why Not Fibers, which is a dyer here in Michigan, and the colorway is called Echo, and the base is Soul. And then the mohair is from Knit Picks, and it's their Aloft base, which is a kid silk mohair, and the colorway is called Eggplant. So, and I really enjoy everything about this, and I'm looking forward to having it done and being able to like wear it, because I like it. I like it a lot. So the other thing that I have been kind of gearing up for is knitting a Love Note sweater by Tin Can Knits, and this has been a process. And if you watched last time, you will have kind of seen part of this process. I still haven't picked out my fingering weight yarn, but I think today is the day that I am going to go and do it. So I have swatched in like 3 different ways, and this is my swatch, and it does have the mohair in here. So the mohair that I'm going to use is blue. It's like this. See if I can show you. I don't know how well you can see that. I don't have the cake out here, but anyway, it's a really like a indigo kind of blue. So what I did first is I swatched with this purpley lavender yarn, which is here in the middle. And I didn't really care for it. So then I decided to try the purple with the Eggplant, which is this, and I don't like that a whole lot either. So then I picked out a blue, and I like the blue a lot better. So I think it's going to be a blue fingering with my blue mohair, and that's going to be my Love Note, which I think will look really cool, and I will really like it. So this is just to show you the swatch. So what I did here, so you have an idea, is this is the blue fingering with the blue mohair. This is the lavender fingering with the blue mohair. And then this is the lavender fingering with like this color mohair. So you can kind of see the difference in what the effect is. So like I said, I think I'm going to go to my local yarn shop today and get that. The kids only have a half day of school today, which means I don't have a lot of time this morning, so I'm going to do it after they get off the bus. I think I might bring them with me and we might grab some lunch while we are in town, because I wanted to get it Wednesday, but something came up and I wasn't able to go to knit group, so I didn't get to get it. But that's all I have to start this off with, so I'm going to sign off here and I will check in with you more throughout the week. See you then. So freshly wound mohair reminds me very much of an angry pygmy puff because of all of the static electricity. You can see that it is very, very fuzzy and puffy right now. It is very amusing though. Hi guys, it's Saturday afternoon now, February 22nd, and I wanted to just pop on real quickly and share with you that I did end up casting on my Love Note sweater yesterday. I went and got the yarn for it, first of all, and then I cast it on. And the yarn that I got it's all caked up and ready to go because I've cast it on. So this is the yarn that I got for the body of my sweater. It's from AJHC Wool, which is a local dyer in the area that I live in Michigan. And this colorway, I believe, is called Blueberry Crumb Cake, maybe? Let me double check that. I don't have the band like really close, so I'll double check that and make sure I have that name correct. But yeah, so this is the yarn that I decided to get. I will try to remember to pop in a picture of the skeins with a skein of mohair so you can see what it looked like skeined up. But this is it. And then this is my mohair that I am knitting with it. And I'm sorry, my dog is getting really mouthy and snuffly. So if you hear dog background noises, I apologize. He thinks it's time to eat, but it's not time to eat yet. So these are the colors that I am blending together for my sweater. And so I thought I would show you how it looks. I am just now ready to start the lace part of the yoke. So it's not much to look at just yet, but here it is. So you'll have to ignore the bright blue because that's my provisional cast on. But yeah, here is how it is knitting up. And I really quite like it, quite a bit. I was a little apprehensive with the variegated nature of the yarn that it was going to end up a little bit too busy, but I don't think that it is going to be, especially because it's a big lace pattern. I think it's going to be okay. So there it is. Sorry, Flint is, being difficult right now. So I'm going to start the lace portion. I do need to put it on a longer cable. 32-inch cable wasn't quite enough when I cast it on, but now that I have increased a little bit, I am ready to switch to my 32-inch cable, which will make it a little less bunched up. So yeah, I have officially begun after a lot of thinking about it and deciding what I wanted to do. So I am going to sign off for now, finish up a last couple of things that I need to get done today, and then I would like to knit on this a little bit more this afternoon and evening. So I will talk to you guys a little later. Hi guys! So it is Monday, February 24th, and I just wanted to hop on real quick and say hello and say I hope that everyone had a really, really nice weekend. I actually did have a pretty good weekend. So the last couple of times I have vlogged, I have talked a little bit about just kind of my own emotional struggles right now and just kind of my mental health sort of place, and trying to be a little more transparent about that, because I think too often on social media we paint this like really rosy picture of what life is like, but that's not really accurate to how life really truly is. And so I've been trying to be kind of honest about that. Not just with everybody, but like with myself too, because sometimes we lie to ourselves and convince ourselves that everything is okay when it really, really isn't okay. So I have been honest about that. And this weekend, for the first time in probably about 2 months, maybe even longer than that, I really came to a place of peace with what's going on, because much of what's going on for me right now is completely out of my control. So there's not really a whole lot I can do about it. And that can be really difficult and really frustrating because we want to take charge and we want to make things happen. But this stuff is not in my realm of control. So that was really hard, but I kind of finally reached this place of peace, this just sense that I can relax, that everything is going to be all right. And as a person of faith, for me, that comes from God, and that sense of finally trusting that God has this and that I can give this to God and it will be okay. And so that for me is a piece of my faith that I struggle with, but yet is a really refreshing piece of faith and a peaceful aspect of it as well. So this weekend was good because I was productive and I was at peace. I stayed home. I didn't really go anywhere or do a whole lot, but I got a lot of work done. Was able to relax even though I was doing things, which was really kind of a big deal. I did work on my love note pullover, which I am really enjoying. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but I have begun the lace portion. I don't know if you can see that very well. I'm about halfway through the chart for the lace, and I do the chart a couple of times. So there, you can see it a little bit better. There it is. So this is feels really good. It's really an enjoyable knit, and I'm looking forward to continuing to work on this. And I know, like right now, I do have to pay attention because it's in the lace section, but I know that once it is, I think it will really fly because it's on fairly large needles. So I think this will knit up pretty quickly, actually. So anyway, I just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of update on that and let you know where I am. This could change because, it's always a state of flux, but I feel more at peace and I feel better. So I am going to head off here and do a visit. Abby has an appointment this evening, and then we're having dinner with my mom. So that will be nice. We'll get to see her and spend a little bit of time with her this evening. So I'm going to head off for now, but I will check in with you guys later. Hi guys. So it's Wednesday, February 26th, and I thought I would just check in really quickly. It is a snow day. You can kind of see out the window. We are in the middle of a winter storm, and it's Ash Wednesday, and we're supposed to have a church service tonight, and this weather is supposed to my face is all red because I was outside. Sorry. So this weather is supposed to continue until the evening, probably like 9 o'clock tonight. So I decided to go out and drive around a little bit and kind of get a feel for what the road conditions are to make a decision about what to do with the service tonight. So that's why I am out in this weather. I wouldn't be otherwise. I would so be home. So I think I've decided that I'm going to cancel the service. One of the main roads is okay. The side roads are not good. And the other main road that I went down was, it's a little iffy. And we're supposed to keep getting snow. The visibility is really crummy. And I think that if we had it, like 5 people would show up and it's not worth it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just cancel the service tonight. So once I get back home, I will be notifying everybody. And now I'm going to head that way. Wish me luck. Thursday, February their snow day. They actually canceled school last night. We did get quite a bit of snow yesterday, and the back roads get pretty bad, and there's a lot of rural area in their school district, so a lot of times one snow day usually means 2 snow days. And I just got up and let Flint out, and it looks like it's snowing again. I'm supposed to have a meeting at one of my churches this afternoon, and if it's snowing, it was actually snowing pretty heavily. I was surprised. I thought that it was all over. But if that continues, we may not have that meeting. So, I'll be honest, I'm kind of like to be able to get out of the house because Philip was sick on Tuesday, and then they had the snow day yesterday, and then they're having a snow day today. So, I'm feeling a wee bit stir crazy, to be perfectly honest with you. But I have gotten a lot of work done, so that's good. So I'm gonna go get some work done now before the kids get up. It's not easiest to get work done when they're awake, but I've managed to kind of cobble some stuff together. So I'm gonna go do that, and I will check in with you all later. Hi everyone, it's Friday, February 28th, and I just wanted to pop on and kind of wrap up the vlog for this week. This week has proven to be a rather snowy and cold week here in mid-Michigan. The kids did have 2 snow days on Wednesday and Thursday, which I will have talked about already. And today they just have a half day of school because it was supposed to be the end of their trimester, and Abby was supposed to have exams yesterday and today, but the snow days have kind of pushed that back a couple of days. So her exams will be on Monday and Tuesday instead of this week. But they do only have a half day, so I wanted to pop on this morning and wrap that up before they come home and things get a little bit hectic, and I ferry them off to their dads for the weekends. But I wanted to just hop on and kind of show you guys what I have been knitting on this past week and just kind of give you a little bit of a recap. It hasn't been very eventful because of the weather. There really wasn't a whole lot that we did because the weather was pretty bad on Wednesday. And then yesterday I needed to make a hospital visit, and that kind of took up a good chunk of my day. So it hasn't been a super fun-filled sort of week. It kind of feels like it's been the theme of the year so far. It has not been the greatest kickoff to 2020, but we're trying. And I'm hoping that, as we're entering into March, that the weather will stabilize a little bit because it has not been very stable. And I don't know, maybe we can get some more stuff done and happening. Who knows? Anyway, knitting. So the longest running whip that I have is my Birds of a Feather shawl, and I'm still working on it. I am on the last mohair portion before the border, so it is almost complete. So here we are. Here is my Birds of a Feather. So I'm not going to go back over the yarn because I've already talked about it, but just to kind of give you a close-up of the yarns that I have used. Like I said, I'm about halfway done with this last mohair section, and then there is just the border left. And the border will really be dictated by how far what I have left of this color goes. It may be shorter than what it calls for in the pattern if I start to run out of this. Or it may be the full length. That's hard to say. We'll see what the yarn dictates. But yeah, it's been a really fun knit. I do recommend it, especially if you're looking for something that's pretty straightforward, but you don't really get bored of. This is definitely it. And the mohair is very soft and very airy. So maybe that will finish up in the week to come. Who knows? I never know. The other project that I have talked to you about this week was my Love Note pullover. And let me show you the status of that. So let me explain what's going on here. So I was working on it, and I was almost done with the first lace repeat. And I realized as I'm looking at it that the neck was huge. It was like really, really big. And I really went back and forth about the size and what size I wanted to knit. I chose to go with the small based on the amount of ease that was on the model. I thought that that might be the fit that I wanted, but the neck was huge, just huge. I mean, like, really big. And I know that it has, like, you pick up the collar and you do like a little bit of ribbing, but it wasn't going to be a lot of ribbing. I don't like super boat necky sort of things. So I decided that since I was really waffling on the size in the first place, that I would just rip it out and knit the extra small, which I think will be fine. The bust measurements still give me like 4 inches of positive ease, and I'm okay with that. The other was going to be like 7 inches or so of positive ease, I think. I can't remember. I'd have to look at the pattern. Anyway, I decided that I'm just going to frog it because I'm not happy with the sizing and the way that it's turning out right now, and I didn't want to get any farther and then have to rip it out. So I ripped it out. I didn't recast it back on because I just did this last night. It was kind of a pain in the butt to rip out. Ripping out mohair held double with fingering weight is a pain. So I have things ripped out, and I may cast it on again today. I don't know. It might just sit in timeout for a couple of days. We'll see. But I love this sweater, and it's going to get knit. It was just frustrating. And it's got a provisional cast on, which is not my favorite way to cast on something. So that's why I'm kind of like hesitating casting it on. But I did cast on something else. Because Helen Stewart's Handmade Sock Society Season 3 came out this week, and I really love her sock patterns. They are so elegant and sophisticated, and yet not completely over the top. So I got the pattern club, and the first pattern came out on Tuesday, and I saw it, and I absolutely loved it, and I had to cast it on. So these are the Luminary socks by Helen Stewart from her Handmade Sock Society 3. And here they are in my little hobbit hole progress keeper. Anyway, so here they are. These are the Luminary socks. They have this really cool stitch pattern, if I can get it to focus on it, which I don't know if I'm going to. Anyway, there's this cool stitch pattern on it. And I have been enjoying these, and these made me very happy when the sweater needed to be frogged and I didn't want to touch mohair, so I grabbed these. And I've been knitting on these. So I got like a repeat and a half left, I think, before the heel. This yarn that I'm using is yarn that I dyed myself. You may recognize it if you have followed me for a little while. I used this as one of my colors in my Stephen West mystery knit along, the Starflake MCal that he did. So this was one of the colors in that. It's a kind of a mocha sort of color. It's like a gray brown. It can look rather gray in certain lights, or it can look a little bit more like a latte mocha sort of color. So I am really, really enjoying these quite a bit. Like I said, I just think they're this beautiful textured elegance sort of thing. So that's been my knitting. 3, well, okay, we won't count the love note right now as a whip since it's been frogged, but it will be a whip again. But 3, that's kind of unprecedented for me. Plus vanilla socks, but those don't count because they're vanilla socks, and those never count. So yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on knitting wise. It's been going on in my life. Next week I'm not sure what all is going on next week. Look at my calendar. I do have a funeral to do tomorrow. So I need to go just kind of put the finishing touches on that. And I have a paper due on Monday, so I need to go work on that just a little bit before I have to go pick up children. So I'm going to sign off there. Thank you so much for coming, for being a part of this vlogging experience this week. I will see you back again in 2 weeks with another vlog. Just as a reminder, in the down bar you can find links to all of the patterns that I have talked about and the yarns that I have used. So if you're curious about that, those are down below. In the meantime, have a great couple of weeks, and I will talk to you then. Bye.